The birds have never stopped singing. If you look, you will see that whatever happens, the birds will sing their song. In my grandfather's time, the forest was thick, and higher. We didn't have to go far to kill a hawk. Their spore began at the edge of the village, and the taste of the boar meat was like water to us. We ate so much. I remember well. Now they have gone deep, the boar. But all things are in Onyami's wide hands. Only Onyami, the shining one, knows why a goat's shit is so beautiful. We are not complaining. When I go to the forest, I can see that the world is wonderful. The birds are all colors, red, sea blue, yellow, some like leaves, some white like fresh calico. What creatures can you not find there? The smallest catch I ever brought home is a danko. And danko are not hard to catch. Even when they hide, their ears stick up so you can see them. If I created them, I would have put their eyes on their pointed ears to keep them safe. But then I wouldn't be able to catch them. Maybe hunger would consume me. And danko, they are fast. But I have many traps. This is a hunter's life. So we are not complaining. The village is good. We are close to the chief's village and we can take any matters to him. But we have just 12 families. So we have no trouble apart from Kofiata. He is my relative. But before I learned how to wear cloth, my mother told me that he would bring heavy matters to us. I remember my father had brought utre, antelope, that night before, and she was cooking our benkwai. Yaopoko, she said, when you are playing with your relative, look well, oh. Yo. Yaopoko. My mother said things to me twice. I said, look well when you play with Kofiata. You hear? Yo. She took my hand and put hot soup in it for me to taste. Then she said, you don't know that that woman who helped his mother lost his umbilical cord? She shook her head. It is not buried. The boy will bring trouble someday. So maybe I shouldn't be surprised. But I forgot. We don't think of these things. They are like light. In the day, there is always light. And we don't think about it. But I, Yaopoku, am a hunter. So light surprises me. I am used to the dimness of the forest. The way the light falls on me like incisions from a knife when I move. When I go to forest, sound is brighter than light. So light surprises me. The same way I was surprised even though my mother warned me to look well. Be careful. We were at our somewhere when they came. First, it was the young woman whose eyes could not rest. Since you are here, let me tell you. The ancestors say that the truth is short, but Sebi, when the tale is bad, then even the truth stretches like a toad run over by a car on those new roads they are building. I, the one who crouches, the one who watches, I, Yaopoku, who has roamed the forests from Atewa to Kede, seen every dukia, hog, cobra, and leopard that turns this our earth, I was surprised. But let me tell you the tale before it goes cold. It was my grandfather, Opoku, the one whose hands were never empty, who told me that the tale the Englishman calls history is mostly lies written in fine dye. This is no such tale. It is said that the wise weaver of webs, Anansi, did not sell speech. So I shall speak. I shall tell you the tale. It was Kwasida, Inchi Kwesi, just 1 week before Kuru Kwesi, when it would be a taboo, sebi, to speak of death and funerals. Nawotri, before we were to pour libation for the ones on the other side. I am sure of the day, but if you think I'm lying, you can check with the Bono, who have kept the days for their Shantihini for centuries. We were at our somewhere when she came, the one whose eyes would not lie still. I myself was coming from the palm wine tapper's hut. The woman who sells palm wine doesn't open on Kwasida. She went to live in the big city, Accra, for 6 years, and when she came back, she refused to work on Sundays. Before she went to the city, she used to sell tomatoes at the roadside, but that is another story. The palm wine tapper gave me a large calabash of his special, and I was going back to my hut when I heard the woman scream like a grass cutter in a trap. I don't play with my palm wine. No. So I went to put it in a corner of my hut. Then I came to the Twinibue tree in the village center. She was wearing these short skirts, some showing her thighs, sebio, but her legs were like a baby Utri's front 2 legs. Thin! It was later that I found out she was some minister's girlfriend. This world is full of wonders. Her driver was wearing khaki, up and down, like a Kolo man, and he wanted her to hold still, but the woman was shaking her head and screaming. And there she strengthened herself and ran towards a pale car at the roadside. The driver followed her rear like dust. When I asked the children, Ofuriwa, Kusi, and the twins, Penyi and Kakra, who were playing in the village center, what happened, they said the cream Benz parked and the woman was following a blue-headed bird. It is true that our village has many beautiful things. When she held her nose, she called her driver and they sniffed the air like dogs until they got to Kufiata's hut. They said ago, but nobody answered. Then the driver raised the kete and held it up and the woman went inside. That's when she screamed. It was still morning and the sound made the forest go quiet. But it's what happened after they left that's wondrous. It is true, even the eagle has not seen everything. The sun was at its highest, sitting hard in the middle of the sky. I was resting on the felled palm by the Twinibue tree, listening to my radio. These days, I catch this new Sunrise FM from Kufuria, drinking some of my palm wine and watching the children play when they came. The first car came towards the tree at top speed and screeched to a stop, raising sand like rice husks. There were 2 aburuburu in the trees. I'm telling you, they flew off making that sound like pouring water in their throats and flapping wildly as the other cars stopped near the first. There were 5 cars in all. Police cars. The first car wasn't even like the police cars you sometimes see. It was a Pinsgoer with a long aerial on top. That's how I knew it was a big matter. Pinsgoers are what the army use when they go into jungle for training. I have seen them while hunting. The big man in his mufti got down from the Pinsgoer. He was wearing a black abomu over his jeans and he was eating groundnuts. "Who is in charge here?" The children pointed towards the giant kapok tree beyond Asari's farm.
The chief lives in that village there.
The other policemen had come down from their cars, all in black. Policeman 119 in our village on this young day. The one in Mufti looked left and right. Then I saw him looking behind the tree at my mother's blue sanya basin that I put on top of my hat after she died. I remember she carried water with it until it was full of holes. Then she took it to her farm to harvest vegetables until there was just a big hole in the bottom. I put it on top of the grass on my roof so I can see my house from far when I'm coming back from forest. When the policeman looked, I looked too, and he looked at me and pointed. "You, do you speak English?" I thought this man either doesn't respect, or because, Sebi, I've shaved my hair, he can't see my 74 years chewing groundnuts while speaking to me. I didn't say anything. I raised my calabash and drank some of Kweku Wusu's palm wine. It was good. Kweku Wusu is the best tapa in the 16 villages under our chief and the 12 villages under Nana Afari. "You!" The policeman walked towards me while the children jumped around him. Uforiwa started singing a Papa Police song. That girl is always singing and clapping. Kusi was standing by the 8 policemen in uniform, touching their guns while they tried to push him away. These policemen, they carry guns all the time, everywhere. Even I, a hunter, I put my long gun down on Kwasida. "His name is Openyipoko," said the twins. "Ah," said the policeman. "Senior man." He showed his mother's training and swallowed his groundnuts and put his hands behind him. "Openyipoko, do you speak English?" I smiled and finished my palm wine small. I go for Nkrumah adult education. "Okay, listen, I no get plenty time. I dey house for Accra where I get call say some woman find something for here where it smell. You know something for the matter?" Hey, the elders say that news is as restless as a bird. But as for this, the woman had come in the morning and it was still morning. Afternoon had not yet come, but these policemen were here all the way from Accra as if there were no policemen in Tafo. I shook my head. "You see the woman?" "Oh yes, police. I see am. Thin woman like so." The policeman smiled. "But you know they smell anything?" "No, I know they smell anything." He turned to look at the other policemen. "Do you people smell anything?" "Yes, Sergeant. It stinks like rotten meat." "Thank you." He turned to me again. "And you know they smell anything?" "No, Sergeant." He shook his head. "So where the woman go?" "Accra." "No. Which side she go for here?" He raised his arm towards the Twinibue tree. I pointed at Kofiata's hut. He brought his hand down to hold the black stick in his abumu. "Let's go." The other policemen followed him. After a little distance, he stopped and turned to me. "Openyipoko, I beg, make you come some." I called Kusi to come and get my calabash and radio. Put them at the door of my house and tell Mama Aku that I'll be back later. Then I stood up and walked to join the policemen. The Saji was trying to send the other children back, but they were singing and refused to leave. He looked at me. "Children," I said, "stop your silliness and go home." They stopped following the policemen and turned to leave.